Hey everyone, welcome to a Good e-Reader review video. My name is Michael.
This is Peter.
We have here the remarkable writing tablet. It weighs 350 grams and it is using a canvas display. It's flush with the bezel and it has e-Encarta, so response time is fairly quick. It has a resolution of 1872 by 1404 with 226 dpi. And it has 8 gigs of internal storage, 512 MB of RAM, and it has a 1 gigahertz ARM A9 CPU processor. So it's pretty quick.
We're going to look at the hardware first. The hardware is very simplistic. You have 3 buttons on the bottom, a home button, a previous, and a next, depending on where application you're at. You have a power button up top. The thing is flush with the bezel, as Michael has described. The back is a actual metal plate at the back with 2 rubber stoppers on either side to prevent it from moving around. The sides are completely clean on this device. Looking at the included stylus here, you see it says remarkable. There's no secondary or tertiary buttons of any kind. The nib does push in and has 2000 levels of sensitivity, and if you push the backing out like so, you actually get a nib storage. So it's not actually a button on the back, it is a storage for an additional nib. You are also included a marker tips, and when you crack this open, you'll see that you get very nicely laid out selection of nibs with a grasper tool.
You can interact with the screen just by touching things. You can turn pages in an ebook using the buttons. You can't flip pages in an ebook with your fingers.
Right.
The stylus, you can interact with the menus the same way, but all like the menu features you could just use your hands, which is good. So this is the sort of the accessibility menu. You can install different keyboards and stuff like that. Security is relegated to just a passcode. Shows you all the memory there. Battery life, it's at 83%. When we first got it, it was around 90. So after
3 or 4 hours.
Yeah, after about 3 or 4 hours, it's gone down. So it'll last.
This is constant use, mind you. Yeah.
Wi-Fi networks, your account. And yeah, that's it. So this is the main menu. It shows you my files, notebooks, documents, ebooks, bookmarks. So this is like where the bookmarks would be. It does read EPUB books. All of your PDFs are in a directory called Documents. So this is the default view, but you can go to List View too if you wanted to. Now you might be wondering yourself, what are these 3 dots right here? Well, if you click on it, you get options here. Bookmark. You could rename the document if you want to. You can move it, you can duplicate it, you can share it via email. So if you click share, it'll ask you for an email address and automatically send it as long as you're connected to Wi-Fi. Or you can delete it. And deleting is useful if you have like a ton of different notes and stuff like that. So these are quick sheets. We'll look at that in a second. And then My Files, which basically just list everything like on your device.
This is the standard writing experience. On the left, you'll see a drop down of different pens, paintbrushes, highlights, erasers, and whatnot. Just going to go through all of this. You can press the button there to collapse everything to get a full page view, or you can reduce it accordingly. So we'll just start with the pen. The first setting is pointy, kind of curvy, and straight lines, so you can explore what all of these are. You do have pressure sensitivity. This is one of the only e-readers note-taking devices that does that. You also have different thicknesses of pen, and this is the pen, mind you. You also have different colors, so you can do gray, you make that large, or you can do white. So if you're writing on a black surface, you can paint in white. So we're gonna tangent over to the eraser because we're just gonna show you what the erasing feature is like. So you can go like that, it processes a little bit, or you have the option to circle a bunch of text, or you can clear the entire page. Moving over to the pencil, this thing is really where it gets interesting. We'll go full tip on this one, and we'll start with the face down. So when we write face down, it looks like a pencil. That's awesome. Now if we go to this tilted one, this gives you a little bit more functionality. So you can get the regular pencil like that. If you tilt your pencil, it's almost as if you're actually using the side of the chisel of the pencil to scribe on the screen. That's really cool because we're not changing settings in between doing that. It's very quick to respond to all of your changes. And we can box all that.
Yeah, shading is deadly if you're into like actually drawing.
Yes. We're going to keep this on black for the paintbrush and go full stroke here. So you can see on one setting we've gotten all those different levels of sensitivity. And that is with the paintbrush. The paintbrush is very, very nice. We also have highlight. So if you're writing something or if you're in an ebook or something, you can actually do a highlight and this doesn't disturb what's beneath it. So that's also really cool.
One of the most critical elements about this is the layer system. So if you've ever used Photoshop and everything, you have your primary layer that we're working on now, and then we can create a secondary layer. And we're automatically there, and this is where things like highlighting sort of comes into play.
So what we're doing is we're highlighting this, but if you notice, we're gonna erase a little bit of what we've done. We're not affecting the layer beneath it. We're actually only erasing the highlight. And what this is good for is because you don't actually delete anything on the first layer. It remains completely untouched. Another really cool feature is this multi-direction arrow feature. So what you do is you click on that, circle something, and what you can do is actually move this around. And all of this occurs really, really quickly. So you don't really have to wait for anything to load. You can expand it, you can rotate it, swivel it around, and everything just kind of loads immediately, and there it is. So a lot of neat things you can do here. Of course, there is a zoom functionality, and we do have a grid to show you all the different pages we've also made. And if you go here, we can click on templates. Templates is really cool because there's over 60 different kinds. We're obviously not going to click on each one of these for you. There's everything from storyboards like in film, there's day planners, grids, there's standard like lined, college ruled. It takes a little bit of time to bring up, but once it does, it just completely encompasses the page. It's very, very quick. There's also landscape and portrait. That just obviously changes landscape and portrait. And the whole thing, just everything happens really quick. You might be wondering why that bar is on the side. It's because whether you're in a PDF or an EPUB or whatever other format, you're actually using the same program. It's their reading program. So you can collapse all that to get rid of it, or you can have it there. And it's kind of useful because if you have it there, you can go to the text settings, and this is an add-on to the original program that allows you to change the margins, line spacing, fonts, and once you do, it all changes live. It takes a little bit of time. It doesn't run EPUBs quite as well as it runs the note-taking experience.
Or PDF files in general.
So it did load. We're just going to X out of there. Now you'll notice this is kind of in the way. We're going to collapse that. You can't really turn pages with your fingertip. You can, however, turn pages with the page turn buttons. Page turn buttons are very nice. They press down well. You do get a little bit of a screen wipe every 6 pages, but that's to keep ghosting down. Now the beauty of this is you can make notes in such a way where it can be so precise that it's unlike any other e-reader can do it. Most e-readers just box a certain amount, and when you highlight, it just highlights it like that. Well, this, you can really choose exactly what you want to highlight. Look at the level of in-depth detail you can go into this. And doesn't matter what type of PDF you're reading or opening, it's going to work exactly the same. You're going to have the same list of features, and you're going to be able to make as detailed notes as you would ever have been able to make on pretty much any e-reader.
So this doesn't support pinching and zooming.
Correct.
So you can't pinch and zoom like you would like a Kindle or
Even
a
if you
Kobo.
collapse it, there's nothing.
Right. So you can turn pages, but you might find yourself thinking like, oh, the text in this document is pretty small to read. So you can get the magnifying glass, and you see on the top right hand corner that you get a percentile type of thing. So you can actually click that instead of having to, click here. So it kind of lists the percentage that you're in. So Remarkable is selling this alongside with the pen. At first they were selling the pen optionally, and obviously you need the pen to get the most value out of the Remarkable. So stay tuned to our YouTube channel for comparisons on the Remarkable versus the new Sony digital paper versus the Onyx Books Max Carta and other devices on the market, for goodyreader.com, and a review of the Remarkable 10-inch writing slate. My name is Michael.
This is Peter.
Everybody take care.